We've got a 2018 1GDFTV here for a service. We've already taken the cover off the engine for inspection. Problem we've got at the moment is we need to move the vehicle around on the hoist, and that's why it pays if people are watching and they've got that little tool from K-On that you change the blanking panel to the button. I'll show you what I mean. Look at this stupid idea they did, right? They've gotten rid of, we used to be able to press the shift lock and move this T-bar and put it in neutral so we could move the car. Oh, we've got to get this silly plug out and put the bloody screwdriver in there. That's why I didn't make videos on these. I'm just going to complain. So we told K-On about this stupid thing, and what they did, they come up with a little button, and it's quite safe because when you press it, it's like only sticks out a little bit, so it's a bit hard to press, and then you press it flush, it doesn't quite work to get the T-bar out, and I can't do it one hand. You've actually got to press it down a little bit past flush, give it a really good press, like, you know, most people aren't going to know, and then you can just pop it into neutral and move the vehicle back and forward to put it on the hoist. Pretty great improvement, I reckon. Anyway, I think this car needs a bit of a clean, but yeah, that's what you want. You want to get one of those little K-On buttons, right? It's a shift lock button, put back there again, right? Bada bing. Right, so after more mucking around, you know, we get that silly plug out of there to press the button to put the vehicle in neutral so we can move it where we want to get on the hoist. Right, so we've got it off. Obviously, we're not going to see a lot on this vehicle because it's only a couple of years old, right? So that's why you're not going to see us doing a lot of videos, because everybody's going for capped servicing, which is fair value, you know, $240 or whatever it is, and you're getting your DPF oil and your oil filter and your driveline lubrication. It's pretty good value for money. We can't compete with that, and that's what they want to do, you know what I mean? So that's fine. But it depends if you want it done properly, if you want to rely on the kids to work on the car, it's up to you. But it's going to cost you a lot more to get it done properly, where you've got two proper tradesmen spending an hour or two on the vehicle, as opposed to a apprentice or junior on lower wages getting rushed through, spending half an hour on the vehicle. Or, I don't know, maybe they're working on multiple vehicles at once, because there's not a lot to do. Again, it's a fairly new vehicle. I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking at all the usual things we look at. All I can see here is a bit of dust. We're going to change the oil, you know, cap to refill the oil, you know, pretty easy stuff. There's nothing I can find under this bonnet other than aftermarket accessories. I could probably find something to pick on here, but you know, you can see the coolant, it's fine to 160 or whenever the schedule is. I haven't checked. Brake fluid's due every 40, whatever. There's nothing to see here, right? It's change a sticker, it's fill out the books, it's change the oil and filter, it's do the lubrication, it's have a look around. Nothing to see here. There's probably a couple of things we can have a look at, but don't want to confuse you too much. Okay, the lines of the DPF, they look all right, they're not kinked. We can check a few things like that in case it's been not fitted well from, you know, factory, but everything looks good. So we can, this is the thing, made in Japan, everything is fitted well from factory generally, right? Maybe the ones made in Thailand could have a bit of quality control. Those bloody Hiluxes, I don't know. Anyway, this is a service on a 1GD, so what are we going to do? They're all pretty new, not too much to do. See those washers, the way they twist as well? I just thought I'd mention that because I noticed that there. See what I mean? It's a double-sided washer. It's happened on number 2 as well. Right, so these are a bit different, guys, just so you know. Let's just quickly touch base and tell you that it's not like a 1KD where you pull the valve cover off. These are much easier to work on. Unplug the injector. You can see the fuel return lines there, and the injectors come straight out. So eventually these seats are going to need replacing. We haven't decided what the recommended schedule is. We'll let you know further down the track as it happens, and we've had a number of cases where we can give you our opinion on that. But at the moment it's pull the dipstick, take the oil cap off, put it up, and drop the oil out. Okay, now I'm going to whinge and complain. Not much to see under here. We'll get to that, but just to change the oil, we've got to take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts to remove that bash plate, unless we want to risk it that it's going to come through the hole. Does that look like the oil drain hole lines up? No, it's over there, right? Look at that. Doesn't even work. What am I meant to try and get it through that little hole? Hello, ARB, make some proper bash plates to suit these cars. Yeah, whinge, whine and complain. We can have a look at some of the differences on a 1GD, but looking underneath the vehicle, you're going to see that it's still a 150 Prado, right? You know, it's like, you know, it's got a fuel tank, it's got a tow bar, it's got a diff there, it's got springs, it's got a fuel filler hose, it's got rear brake pads. Let's have a look at those, because it is getting pretty close to needing the brakes. Maybe next we're going to have to get it a bit in closer there, but at 75,000 k's for this to be nearly needing brakes, that's pretty got some pretty heavy brake use going on there. Anyway, it's got the OME suspension in it, which we've seen in plenty of cars over the years, not so much lately. Yeah, the pads will be alright till next service, but that's it. Definitely next service, rear pads, which that'll be the 80,000. So it's 70. It's kind of like, you know, this is something when you don't do your service on time. It's kind of like the wrong service at the wrong time. But the main point of this video is there's not much to see here, and it's going to look much like the other vehicles. See, fuel filter up there in the same spot. That's due every 20,000, you know the deal, so that'll get done at 80. It's on 75 at the moment. It's kind of been a bit early and a bit late. A bit of a lubrication for the driveline, just like the other cars. Yeah, it looks really much the same, doesn't it? Yeah, have you noticed? So you got the nitro charger. We don't want those. Don't worry about any BP51s. If you want ARB, just get these. Someone I know got quoted over $2 grand to get these supplied and fitted. In my opinion, it's just way too expensive for twin tube shockers, but they're good. They're made by Monroe in South Australia. The springs, King Springs, you know, I think they're made in Queensland, unless I've got it all wrong, you know. There's no bushes. We're going to check all the bearings. We're going to spin them and listen. Bushes, bearings, all the usual checks. I'm not going to go through it. It's boring as anything. 75,000 Ks. You're not going to see any problems. Let's have a look, right? Let's have a look. You want to have a look? Look at it, see? It's just like new, guys. It's just like a new one, mate. Waste of time. Virtually a waste of time looking at it at this sort of kilometres, right? Let's look at it. But we already know what we're going to see at what Ks, right? You can see there, we've got a problem here. This one's a bit twisted, right? So the car is up on the hoist, but see there is a split starting just at the other end of that bush there. Just let me get the light right. Try and get you in there. There you go. So you can see anyway, just starting. So it's 75,000 Ks. Go for it, mate. Make noise. Don't worry about me. It's just a video. Anyway, we're just trying to show them different transmission. You can see the pan's different. So that's one of the differences from underneath. Same sort of system with the drain refilling and setting the level with those plugs. Basically the same. Filler plug will be basically the same as well. Let's have a look, show you that one. You can see it up there. It says WS on it, middle of the picture. Up there, all right, no big deal. 24mm. Nothing complicated about these. Whatever. There's your lines that go in and out to your radiator. You know about that for the transmission that cooks because the software's POX. So the oil on this is probably pretty average by now. So that's something we need to look at. So I'll talk to the client about that and see if he wants to do a transmission oil change. The thing is, I don't like to touch them until they're out of warranty, because if there was ever a problem, you know, the blame game, oh, you know, you did this, you did that. You know, I don't mean the customer, I mean Toyota or manufacturers trying to blame and get ways out of paying for things. If you watch videos, you know I don't like this big strong steel guard of any type on the transfer case, although yes, it does provide a bit of protection for that actuator, and it's probably better designed than some of the other ones we've seen, because see, at least it tapers up away from possibly getting hit. So I'm not too bad with that one. It's not bad. It's actually, I don't mind that actually, but just understand that the casting of the transfer case isn't anywhere near as strong as this guard. So we've got 2 bolts at the front, 2 bolts at the back only, right? So yeah, if that did get hit by a rock, there's a good chance there's quite a bit of leverage from the back of this guard here, right? This part here, getting hit, hitting that and busting that. It's because you've got leverage because of that, the length of that, you know what I mean? It kind of just goes ping and it breaks off the casing here. Seen it before on, not with these guards, but these are better. I'm saying it's better. It's not too bad. And it goes up. See, like I said, it tapers up here. Some of the other ones we've seen, they just stay straight like this, and they got fins on them, and they hang down really low, and it just reduces your clearance, and it's more likely you're going to hit it, and people have hit them in broken transfer cases. Anyway, kind of like off topic, but it's all important information you need to know, things to avoid. I don't think there's anything else to see under here. No plane. Look at that oil go out, mate. Look at that. Wow, like a fan of hot oil. See that? I just want to show you that. That's what you got to be careful of. Sometimes it gets really wide like that. So that's the oil going out, and we're still going to check all pickups on these vehicles. Same situation or similar, possibly, maybe. You know, it's worth checking on every vehicle anyway. Every diesel, petrol, I don't care. The OME suspension, we've seen a lot of this in cars over the years. Not as much now as what we used to, and usually no leaks or anything like that as well. So we don't have a problem with those if you want to go for those. Usually the bushes are pretty good as well. I don't know how long these have been in, but by the wear and tear on the front, they look like they were done fairly early days, and you can see the condition of the bush is pretty good. But you know, whatever, each to their own. And of course the KO2 is one of, this is traditionally the most popular combination of tyres, and you know, KOs, not KO2s, but you know, same, they've moved on to KO2s. These are the most used tyres. Let's look for the sweat on the steering rack just to see it. 75,000, nothing. Oh, actually, look at the bottom of the rack at that side. There's a little bit there already. See, this is what I mean, guys. If you worried about a little sweat like that, you'd be replacing racks all the time. Up there, 75,000, it should be bone dry. If I saw any oil up there, I would not be happy about that at all. Thanks for dropping out that oil, mate. That's awesome. Speeding up the job for me. Gotta love having a couple of drains on the starter motor. That's a great idea. So if anything did get into it, it gets to drain out. Like I said, too early to pick anything. Diffs are even clean. They've even done the diff oil at 40,000. Mate, I reckon they even did it. This is the problem with cap servicing, guys. I'm not saying nothing else. I'll hold it still. You look at it and tell me if you reckon there's ever been a tool on that plug. How about the filler plug? Let's look at that. These oils should be changed every 40,000 k as part of the standard service, right? You tell me if it looks like there's ever been a tool in there. I could be wrong. We could be wrong. They could have really good tools and be really good. We'll know at 80,000 k's when we crack this loose, because when it's over tightened and it gets butchered up when we're taking it out because they've over tightened it, then we'll know. But they don't look touched, and that makes me want to go straight back to the back again and have a look at this one. What do you reckon? Ever had a socket on it? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. Right? I don't think so. Could be wrong. Anyway, don't know about that. So that's, you get what you pay for. Good luck with that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. You know. I don't know. Better have a look at the front brake pads quickly. We'll have a look at the fronts. They should last longer than the rears usually, but see what we got. They're about half worn still. So yeah, like usual, the rears are going to wear out first. Anyway, guys, I think that's it for this video. I don't know what else we can show you. Stay tuned if you want more 1GD stuff, because as it comes along, we don't fix DPF problems. That's all warranty, you know, 10-year warranty, lifetime warranty, whatever it's going to be. One of the issues you got is changing the oil filter. They can leak a little bit around here. So what you do, you can either make up something. You can set a bit of cardboard there to catch it, or you can just sit in it one of your old rags up there on the side of the sump. Most of the oil will stay in the oil filter if you tip it the right way and leave it, the engine running, not running long enough to let it all sort of, some of it drain back and whatever, but you just got to clean it up afterwards. You can mainly keep it clean though. That's it, dudes. We're out of here. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe, turn the bell on. We'll have more 1GD and other vehicle information coming at a later date. Thanks for watching. See ya.